All right, here we go. We are live with the final three of Trinity Survivor 2. Say hi, guys.
Hi.
Hey,
All right. Chris,
Yes.
Jabbar, Jake have made the final three. It's been one hell of a season, I have to say. But they've overcame and they've made it here.
46 days.
So let's not waste any time. Let's just get right into this because I'm sure everyone has a lot to say right now. So we're going to start with the opening speeches. And we're going to start with the winner of the final immunity challenge,
no, that's true.
Jake. All right, Jake.
All right, so this game has been a complete roller coaster for me. When I first came into the game, the very first thing I wanted to do was set up a solid alliance. So I talked to everybody on my tribe, and I felt really good connections with Nick and Vlad, and the three of us bonded really well, so we grouped up together. And then when the twist came, that kind of screwed me over because I was completely isolated from my tribe. That put me in the minority. So, since I was in the minority, there's five people from my original tribe, and there's only me left. So, when it came down to the fifth tribal council, I was a dead man walking. I thought my game was over right there. But my bonds that I created with Nick and Vlad ultimately gave me two votes to work with. So I just needed to get one more person. And luckily, I was able to talk to Matt and get him to vote me to stay. And that I feel like was a really big move, first of all, because I was able to convince three people to keep me. I was going to spend the next few weeks not working. So then came the sixth tribal council where I was the only person from Renraku left. And there was a Machi 4 there. And I looked like to be a goner once again because I was the target for the majority right there. But luckily, I was able to bond with Chris and Louise, and then I was also able to bond with Jabbar and Blake, and we were able to form a five-person alliance where ultimately it seemed like I was in the middle because I had two people from each other original tribe. So had we had to go to a third tribal council, I feel like I would have been in a pretty good position to be able to choose where I wanted to go from there. So when merge came, I wanted it to be in a majority alliance. That was my ultimate goal. So I knew that me, Jabbar, Nick, and Blake, we had a very good bond. We had a very good connection, and we all kind of agreed that Nin was a big target. So next, I had to go to work. I had to get two or three other people to vote Nin out. And luckily, I was able to reunite back with Nick and Vlad. And I had to spend all morning trying to convince them to vote out someone that they were working with. I was able to do that. They were able to bring Heather Lee Cameron in on Alliance, and so we had a seven-person majority. We were able to pull off that move perfectly. And I feel like that was the most important move of the game because that set the tone for the game. That set everybody up in that alliance to be in a comfortable position. And I feel like I did a lot of the work to get that started. So once Heather got expelled, I was surrounded by five people, the five people that I trusted the most. And so then when it came to final 10, Blake decided to flip on us and vote Vlad. So that's when the alliance kind of started to divide a little bit. And that's where I had to adjust my strategy. I knew right there I had to become sort of a middleman because I still wanted to work with the majority, but there was people who were gunning for each other. So I knew that I wanted to stay close with everybody for as long as I could. I knew that Blake and Jabbar were close, and I knew that Nick and Chris were starting to develop a strong bond as well. And at this time, this is when AJ started to come more into the picture, as me, Nick, AJ, and Chris formed a Final Four alliance. And then I was also able to communicate with Alex, Connor, and Matt at this time. I was skeptical of talking strategy with them, though, because like I said, I wanted to stick with the majority alliance, and I didn't want them to leak any information. So I talked to them on a personal level to make me seem less threatening. And then at Final 9, Jabbar decided to leak to Blake that we had a chat, that everybody else in the alliance had a chat. And so Blake kind of came at me, and I was able to still keep that trust with him. And ultimately, he told me that Matt and Connor and Alex were voting for me. So then once it came down to Final 8, Blake tried to involve me in a plan to get Chris out with Alex and Connor. And I wanted to stick with Chris at that point because I felt like that he was being pretty genuine. And I knew that Alex and Connor were going to leak. So I wanted to stick with the majority, like I said, as long as I could. And I was able to convince Chris that I had nothing to do with that plan. And Alex was the one targeting me, so it was kind of easy to get him out at that point. Final 7 was really hard because this is where I ultimately started having to choose a side. There was the Final 4 between AJ, Chris, me, and Nick, and then I also had something going on with Blake and Jabbar. And then this is when Blake ultimately told me that he had an idol. I kind of panicked under the pressure, to be completely honest. But I had to think about it. And I honestly felt that in the Final 4 of me, AJ, Nick, and Chris, I could potentially be a number 4. So I decided just to not say anything and let things play out because I knew that Blake wasn't going to vote for me. I'm sorry, AJ. I really had no idea who Blake was going to vote for that round. I just knew it wasn't going to be me and that the blood wasn't going to be on my hands at that time. So I apologize. So at Final 6, I felt like I had a lot of options. I had pretty good relationships with just about everybody still in the game. But that's when Nick told Jabbar that me or Chris wanted to split up Blake and Jabbar. And that caused kind of a huge riff and got ultimately everybody to turn on Nick, which was sad because I wanted to save him. But at that point, there was really nothing I could do. At Final 5, Connor had approached me and he wanted to work with me to try to get Blake out. And that felt like a good move at the time. But when Jabbar gave Blake the immunity, I thought I was a goner. I thought that I was totally screwed because Blake knew that I wanted him out, and I knew that Connor was going to vote with Blake. So and I was pretty sure that Chris was going to vote with me. So I had to basically depend on Jabbar. But I feel like I developed a good enough relationship with Jabbar to where he ultimately wanted to keep me. So Final 4, I knew I had to win immunity. I knew I had to. People told me that I didn't, but I knew, especially when it came down to me and Chris at the end. Because had Chris won that immunity, I know that Jabbar and Blake would have voted for me. I feel like Chris probably would have kept me, but I feel like I could have easily lost to Blake in that Final 4 immunity. I stayed on that wall for 3 hours and beat somebody known as an endurance comp beast. So I feel like that is something pretty impressive. I won immunity when I absolutely needed it the most. Understand that I wouldn't be here at the end if it wasn't for a lot of you people on the jury. And I totally understand that, and I appreciate that, and I thank you guys very much. I didn't have an idol to protect me, though. I only had the social bonds that I created with people, and I feel like those ultimately kept me in the game. So I understand that many of you guys risked your games to keep me, and I thank you for that. I tried my best to keep my emotions out of it, but it was hard. Out of the three of us, I feel like I had the hardest road to get to the end, but I made the best of my situation. I love you guys, and I hope that um, you guys can ask me some questions and I can be honest with you guys to explain. So thank you.
All right, thank you, Jake. Now we're going to move on to Jabbar.
Well, first of all, I would like to say thank you guys, all of the hosts, for casting me and so on and so forth. I know that I'm a bit to deal with, but hey, it's me. Love it or hate it, take it or leave it. It's me. Second, I would like to apologize for hurting anyone's feelings throughout the game. I don't know you guys personally, and it's in the context of the game. So I do apologize if I've hurt anyone's feelings. I'm going to keep my speech really short. I'm going to go into the three aspects of the game that I think are important: physical, social, and strategic. Physical. Pre-merge, I completely helped my tribe in almost every challenge, maybe except for the one that Rory dominated for us. And even at the tribe swap, I put up really great scores to help our tribe win. This was really important for me because even in my pre-game interview, I said that I wanted to be as active as possible in the first few days because people like to play with active people. So if I'm contributing physically in the competitions, I'm pretty sure that I'm not going anywhere anytime soon. Now, when the merge hit, I'm not going to lie, I threw a third of the competitions. I didn't compete in another third, but it's all strategy. I felt as though me doing as well as I did in some of the earlier challenges could come back to bite me. And Nick actually inspired me to win a competition that I wasn't even going to compete in. When he made a comment at the final 6 tribal council, he pretty much kind of targeted me saying that I didn't compete in immunities or I didn't try. So within that hour left of the competition, I thought to myself, okay, Nick, I'm going to show you what I really can do. And I blew that physical competition out of the water, beating everybody by at least 20 minutes. And the reason why I use that is to show that I could have competed in the immunity challenges to my full extent if I wanted to. But there's a saying that says, if nothing's broke, why fix it? Why should I make myself a target when I don't really need to? Throwing immunities and not competing is what got me as far as it did. I wouldn't change the way I played or how I played in the physical competitions for anything. Moving on into the social aspect of the game, pre-merge, I knew that I wanted to talk to as many people as possible and be always available to listen. I wanted to make connections that did not involve the game so that when game play and strategy came in hand, it just started to flow. People were trusting me with information that they weren't telling anyone else, and I used this to my advantage. Some people I may have extorted their information a little bit, but it was all to get me as far as I possibly could. One move that I will thrive on socially that helped me get here is flipping on Rory, because I don't per se know how far I would have made it with Rory and Jake S. But what I do know is how far I made it with Chris, Blake, and Jake. Sorry, Jake. Chris, Blake, and Jake. So I don't think that I would have made it as far as I did if I didn't flip when I did flip. And that came from, and I'll cross apply this to me being social. Blake told me that there was a 4-person alliance in our original chat, and the ringleader was Rory, who did not trust me. So naturally, you want to get rid of someone who can't trust you, and you want to link up with people who you may be able to trust in the future. And they proved to trust me, and I returned the favor. As soon as merge hit, I was talking to everybody. You know, I made a lot of decisions that people would think are crazy. I voted in the minority several times on purpose just so that I can maintain my status and get information from both sides. You know, I flat out told people who I was voting for. You know, I'm an honest person. Yeah, I was pretty social. Yeah, I talked to people. I was honest. Love me or hate me, you can't say that I didn't try and talk to you at merge. Moving on into strategy. Yeah, you can cross apply my physical game and my social game to my strategy because those are types of strategies. However, those aren't what I'm going to scapegoat myself on. Every tribal council that I went to, I actually created a list. I would stop for like 30 seconds and I would think of a list of everybody who went to that tribal council. And if I was to go to tribal council within the next 30 minutes, I would have them ordered in level of importance from who I would vote out least to who I would vote out the most. And this wasn't a list to necessarily say who exactly I would vote out, but it was an impromptu list to see who I trusted at that moment and who I needed to talk to and who I didn't have a solid connection with. So my strategy was all about being social, talking to people, and gaining trust. Because at the end of the day, if people don't trust you or if they don't like you, they're not going to want to work with you or hear what you have to say. So yeah, that was my strategy. I do want to say, I may sound like a robot, but by no means am I a robot. I do understand that I made mistakes in this game, and I can admit that. One mistake that I made was letting Alex take the fall for the Jake vote. You know, everybody thought that he pretty much was the ringleader of targeting Jake in the final 9. And I really felt bad because I really wanted to protect Alex in the final 8, but nobody wanted to work with him. Like, literally, everybody was done with him. And I've never felt that vulnerable to a point where I could not help one of my friends. But a really important thing that I've learned while playing these games is that it's all about adapting and learning from your mistakes. So in the final 5, you know, everybody wanted Blake out. I wasn't gonna ever let my voice not be heard. So I wanted Connor out. I want immunity, and I gave immunity to Blake and got Connor out. So like I said, by no means am I admitting to being perfect. I made mistakes, you know, I missed votes, things like that. I didn't show up to tribal council. Okay, that's fine. I learned from that. I adapted. I've grown as a player and as a person, and I showed that I was here to play. That's it.
All right. Thank you, Jabbar. Last but not least is Chris.
All right, guys. I'm gonna try to keep this really short. I'll be glad to go into all my moves in each round. I'll be glad to go into details and your questions. I just know no one wants to listen to me rant for 20 minutes, so I'm just gonna do a quick 2-minute speech, and then we'll get to your questions. Before that, I want to thank the host for this game. It's been a hell of a game. This cast is one of my favorite casts I've gotten the chance to play with. I've played 5 orgs, and this cast is definitely my favorite. I love every single one of you guys. The cast was great. The challenges were really fun to play, and it wasn't really too twisty of a season. We had one major twist in the beginning, and then some stuff thrown us at the merge. Besides that, it wasn't like twist heavy, which I loved. So now into the game. I'm gonna first just get out the obvious elephant in the room, my idol. Early on, I had a Final 2 alliance with Nick S. And I trusted Nick S, so I told Nick S about my idol. After Luca got voted out, people wanted to split up. Nick and myself. I believe it was Alex, but I'm not entirely sure. Like I said, throughout this game, people told me Alex wanted to split the votes on me and Nick for being a duo. Alex, real quick, if that was a lie, I'm sorry. I believed it, and that's why we never got a chance to work together. So, from my perspective, people wanted to split me and Nick up. And I had the chance to idle Nick and get Jenna out, but that just did not make sense to me. So I went to AJ, I went to Lewis, I went to Alex, I went to everyone on my tribe, tried to switch the vote from Nick, and I tried to get Jenna out, and no one would budge. They would all tell me, yeah, I'll switch if everyone else switches, but they were all just telling me the same bullshit. I think, because AJ would come to me and be like, "Listen, they're all telling you what you want to hear. They're not really gonna flip at all. Nick's going home." I had no choice but to vote Nick, my closest ally, on day 6. Half an hour after that, Nick tells everyone I have an idol. He tells everyone I want Jenna out, and he blows my game up. I suddenly have a massive target on my back on day 6 that no one else has. I have a public idol, and I have to figure out what the hell I'm going to do, you know? I feel like my game's doomed. I send a confession to the host. I say I have zero chance at making finals. I have zero chance at winning this game. No one's going to let me get that far. So I never had to use this idol. I saved it to the final 5. Even at final 5, I got 0 votes. I did not receive a single vote until final 4, where the lovely Block A gave me a vote. And that was the only vote I got this entire game. I'm not saying that's because of my strategic game or my social game. I do think a big part of that is because people were scared of the idol. But at the same time, you can't discredit that I got 0 votes. So, come to the swap, or pre-swap actually. I led the first vote against Luca. I tried keeping that Nick S, like I said. No one would budge. And then my game blew up. At the swap, I was at a clear minority with Lewis. There was the 4 people from the original tribe. But as people started talking, I started realizing there was cracks. You know, Rory was seen as a dictator. There was an alliance where Jabbar was not a part of. And all these things were starting rolling together. Me and Lewis compared notes, and we decided, all right, let's see what we can do. Suddenly, Blake comes over, Jabbar comes over, Jay comes over, and they all want to make some big moves, which was perfect. So this 5-person alliance comes together, and it was a great alliance because no one had full control. It was, hang on.
You done?
No, I'm not done. You're going to have to wait like 2 minutes.
Okay.
Sorry. My sister came downstairs. Anyways, sorry. So no one really led that alliance. It was just 5 of us coming together to talk. And all right, now she's upstairs. Now I can talk. Sorry about that, guys. Okay. So no one really led that alliance. It was 5 good guys talking, communicating, and saying, listen, Roy's a major threat. Roy didn't include Jabbar. Roy's trying to dictate shit. Roy feels comfortable. Let's get Roy out. It worked. Jake S was left out on the outs. So it was easy to get him out. The next round, people wanted to keep Jake. If I remember correctly, I think it was Jabbar who wanted to keep Jake S in the game. But I was not cool with that because I knew Jake S was not going to work with me after that. I believe Lewis was the target besides Jake S, if I remember correctly. And I knew Lewis would flip to Alex and Matt, but I also knew Lewis trusted me, and Lewis was a number for me. And I did not want Lewis going home. So I pushed for Jake S to stay as the vote. And I did not lead Jake S's vote, but I pushed for Jake S to go. So Jake S went. We merged, and I had a major tough decision. I flip on my allies. I flip on Jake. I flip on Blake. I flip on Jabbar. You know, to work with my friends outside the game, such as Connor, Matt, AJ, Alex, and those guys I've known for a long time. I'm not gonna bullshit that. But ultimately, I know that they had the YouTube Survivor Alliance. They had an alliance from Matt's game. Ultimately, I felt like I was on the bottom of that group. So, I took my chances with the other guys, and ultimately, I think it paid off because I'm here in the final 3. Ultimately, I played this game really socially. I built bonds and connections with everyone this season. Everything was genuine. Everything was real. I had to put that all aside for the game. I had to prove that I'm a game player. I had to prove that I deserve to be here. when you have such a big target on your back like I did, you can't just sit around. I had to play aggressively. I had to go. I had to put my everything in each challenge. I came almost in the top 2, top 3 in each individual challenge. I did my work pre-merge. I helped lead us to wins. I won a reward challenge. I believe I won 2 individual challenges. And that's about it. I don't think I played the best game. I really don't, because I truly think that person's on the jury right now. Out of the final 3, I do think I played the best social game. I do think people were willing to turn on their closest allies for me. Example, Jake turned on Nick. Jabbar turned on Blake. When no one else thought they would turn on them. And when everyone, I don't know. That's just my perception. I won challenges when I needed to. And like I said, I don't think I played the best game. I do think I played a deserving game. I do think I played one of the better games of the final 3. But I love Jake. I love Jabbar. I'll be happy to lose to them. They're awesome dudes, and they put in their heart in this game, just like me. They put their effort, they put their heart, they put their all in it. And they are such great people. And I will be happy to lose to Jabbar. I'll be happy to lose to Jake. And I'm so glad to have met them. And I'm really sorry if I hurt feelings this season. I'm sorry to my friends in the game that I did not work with. I'm sorry I chose allies over you guys. But ultimately, I do think I was on the bottom of your alliance. I'm sorry, AJ, that I did not idol you. You know you're my final 2. You know I would have done everything to get you to the end with me. But I really did not think they were going to vote you out. They said they wanted to vote you out because you and me were tight. And I'm sorry that happened. But I just could not wait. I cannot risk just blindly playing idol on you, exposing a final 2, and then turning Jake against me, turning Nick against me, turning all these guys against me because they're like, Chris playing idol on AJ. Obviously, Chris is with AJ over me. And I could not do that to my game. I wish you were here with me, AJ, but I'm sorry about that. I'm not saying this to get your jury vote. I'm saying this so you can unblock me, so we can still be friends. You're my bro. That's about it. Jabbar, Jake, I wish you guys the best of luck. Julian, Dalton, Dustin, thank you for hosting such an amazing game. To the jury, I know you guys are going to make the right decision. No matter who wins, it's the right decision because you guys have the power right now. And you guys ultimately, whoever you guys vote to win, that person deserves to win. And that's how I always believe in Survivor. So, good luck, guys. I'm ready to answer your questions, honestly.
All right. Thank you, Chris. Thank you, everyone, for your opening speeches. Now, the first person coming in from the jury is on standby, so I'm going to be sending them and they will be joining momentarily.
Goodness.
Hi. Oh my gosh, it's been
Hi.
forever. Hi, guys. Okay.
Hi.
Hi. In case
All right,
you don't remember,
we
my
give
name's Ninja McKilson. Lovely to meet you. I like chocolate, Big Brother, cats, all that good stuff. Okay. And I have a few things to say. First off, congratulations to each of you. I know each of you as an individual person, and I'm so proud of each of you guys. Look at you guys. You guys look like champs already. Okay. Second off, I would just like to say you guys made me sit there for like 3 years while everyone fought with each other, and I kind of was just there after being called controversial things. So I just wanted to say, I think I deserve better. I think y'all can agree, right?
Yeah.
No? Okay, none of you are getting my jury vote. Never mind. Okay. And now it's time for the jury questioning. I'm going to be real. I was watching a very interesting television show, so I wasn't able to watch the opening statements. I got the gist from the jury chat. Don't worry, they're talking about y'all. But I do have my individual questions for each of you. So I'm going to go in alphabetical order. Chris.
Yes.
Hi.
Buddy.
Congratulations.
Thank you so much.
I don't think I ever got to like do anything with you. Like nothing at all, actually. So my one, however, in the jury, many people did bring up your name and it was very controversial whenever you were talked about. So
Okay.
I want to know from you, what do you feel made you a controversial player this season?
All right. I think what made me so controversial was that the whole idol controversy made me one of the bigger characters of the season, which made it easy to talk about me. And then I started lying about a double idol that I didn't have, and that was another lie that I added to my resume, which it worked for a short time period. A lot of people thought I had the merge idol, when in reality, Vlad had it. And I think another thing that made me controversial was I chose strategy and I chose allies in the game instead of friends I knew before the game. And some people, they would say, why the hell would you pick an ally over a friend? When friends, you can, friend is a friend that you know for a long time. And me, I don't know. I wanted to win. We all wanted to win. And I put a lot of effort in this game. And to throw that away for some friendships that just vote me out at fifth, it did not make strategic sense to me. It did not make any logical sense to me. And I think my lies in the game made me controversial. But at the same time, I think I was a pretty straight up person. I think the first 3 merge rounds I lied quite a bit, but I think after that I was pretty honest and upfront about my vote. People knew where my head was at. I hope that answers your question. If not, I apologize. But that's about the only controversial things I can think of that I did. Because anything else was really either you loved me or you hated me. But the stuff that really stood out is the idol, the double idol lie, and then choosing allies over friends.
Astounding. Congratulations once again, and best of luck. Jabbar. Now, I know that, first off, congratulations. Second off, we're totally going to laugh after this season about how I tried to vote you out that one week, right? It's totally cool.
Yeah.
All right. All right. And third of all, for my question, I viewed you in the Merge Tribe as the biggest competition. However, as the weeks progressed and more people started coming in, there were people that would come after your name saying, oh, Jabbar's just a goober, Jabbar's just living his life. So I want you to tell me, why are you not a goober and why do you deserve the crown? Okay, that's actually pretty vague. Let me narrow it down. Why are you, what makes you more cutthroat and fit for the crown than these two?
Oh, okay. I'll deal with the cutthroat thing. Yeah, well, I've always told myself throughout life and throughout games, I can't change people's that's why it's an opinion. I can't really change that. As far as why I think that I'm cutthroat, so to speak, is because I'm completely a risk taker and I'm fine with that. Like I said from the beginning, I threw challenges. Hell, in Final 8, it came down to me and Blake, and I obviously threw that competition. I put myself at risk a lot of times. I voted in the minority, and I blatantly told people that I voted in the minority. Once again, I put myself at risk to be voted out. Final 5, I won the fucking immunity by like 20 minutes. I gave my idol away to someone who people thought I was a duo with. I didn't get any votes that round. So I'm saying all of this to say that the reason why I am a contender is because I'm a risk taker. I came in this game and I was going to do exactly what I wanted, when I wanted, and why I wanted to do it.
Incredible. Thank you, Jabbar. Best of luck. Now, Jake A. My goodness. I will say we are a long way from that original Machi tribe, and I'm a little shocked, but definitely pleased to see that you're the last one of us standing. I do think you deserve that, and I'm very happy for you. But I will say, on that note, the only times that I really got to see you on like a close basis were those Machi tribe times when you were kind of just, I don't know, at the mercy of other players, I guess. So I want you to tell me how throughout this journey to the top 3, did you rise above the mercy of other players? And if so, how?
Well, I want to say, yeah, I definitely rose above the mercy of other players. Like I said in my speech, I was kind of the one who ultimately formed the majority alliance at Merge. I remember when I added Nick and Vlad to that chat that me, Blake, Chris, and Jabbar had. I got questions from Blake and Jabbar saying, why would you add them to the chat? So I don't think I was at the mercy of other players, because if you're at the mercy of other players, then you are ultimately doing what you wanted. But I also took a risk by basically putting everybody that I trusted together in one group, and ultimately that's how the three of us got here. So I don't think I was at the mercy of other players. I think I bonded with other players ultimately. If that answers your
Riveting. Yes, it does. Alrighty. Thank you guys once again. Best of luck. You're all champions just for being here, and totally come to my house for the party after. Bye.
Yeah. Sweet. Party.
All right, thank you, Nin. Hangout link has been sent to the second juror, so they will be here momentarily. Just keeping this rolling.
Rolling. Yeah.
No, it's cutting off your circulation.
I was gonna do something, but I won't.
What?
Jake, are your parents here?
Yeah, my mom's right next to me, and my dad's on the couch over there.
Hi, Jake's parents.
Okay.
Yeah, so they know I'm a dork.
Okay. My girlfriend's sitting right here next to me.
We're all
Aw.
okay.
Juror number 2 has arrived.
Oh boy.
All right,
Good
go ahead.
news.
Hello.
I can hear you.
All right. So I guess I'm ready to start questioning now. So I don't have long because I'm typing up a 5-page paper due tomorrow. But yeah, that's what I get for procrastinating. So really, my only question to you guys is, why did voting me out benefit any of you in any way possible? Because I still don't understand why it benefited any of the three of you, really. I understood it for just about everybody else, but for none of you, I understood it. So if you could each give me an explanation as to why that benefited you, that'd be beneficial.
Who's going first?
You can. Oh.
All right. For me, all right. So Alex, I had a very tough decision, as you know, that night. I had to choose to believe you or Blake, and it was very tough for me because you are a friend of mine, and Blake was an ally of mine. Two very different things. Ultimately, I heard the rumors that you want to split Nick and my duo up on day 6. And that is what ultimately led me to not trust you this entire game. This entire game, I had it drilled in my head. I said, Alex is putting his personal feelings aside. I said, Alex is a gamer. I know when you left the tribal, you said that you have done nothing this game, and that's a lie, Alex. You ran this game until the merge.
Mm-hmm.
At the merge, you unfortunately your power fell. But before the merge, you ran the game, and you can't deny that. You were a big powerhouse in this game. So for me, for memories in my head that you wanted me and Nick out, that you want to split the votes with me and Nick, and then on top of that, you're a power player, and then I had Blake come in and tell me that you wanted me out. So I made the wrong decision that night. Maybe you were telling me the truth and Blake was lying to me. Ultimately, I think it worked out in my favor as I'm sitting here in the final 3. I hope you can forgive me. I hope we can still be friends because I consider us friends. I just did what I thought you were doing. I thought you put your personal feelings aside on day one. So when I realized that, I felt I had to do the same thing. I hope that answers your question. If not, I'm sorry.
Okay, and I wasn't lying to you about that specific thing with Blake. I was actually telling you the truth on that. I have lied about multiple things with that one I was telling the truth about. I did not win the game pre-merge because of the thing that happened with, like, maybe that first tribe. Okay,
Yeah.
I will admit to that. But as soon as that tribe swap, I was in the minority.
Okay.
And
See, I couldn't see that because I wasn't there. I just know, like, on our tribe, you were like running the show on the original tribe, and I can only assume that you, like, I've seen you play Matt's game, you know, so I can only assume that you led that to the second tribe.
Fair enough, but I didn't run this game at all after Jenna's vote off. I had no say in any vote off ever. So.
Right. Okay. I'm sorry that I had to do what I had to do.
That's fine. Other two?
Okay.
All right, so I guess I'll go next. As I stated in my little opening speech, voting you out was probably one of my mistakes in the game. But the reason why I did vote you out was more so because, I did ask around and I did reach out to try to help you. Nobody wanted to make a deal with you, make a deal to save you. Nobody wanted to write any other name down but yours at that tribal council. So, me being someone who was trusted by a lot of people at the time, with the exception of maybe Nick, it made sense for me to also write your name down rather than sticking my neck out there for someone that the rest of the cast did not trust.
Fair enough. And to that point, I will say AJ at least came to me and said that he was trying to make a deal with people, but no one else would bite. So if you two ever cross paths, then either, one of the two of you are lying, which I don't think, or you guys just didn't talk about it or something like that. But I more so understand it from your point than, well, I guess I understand it from Jake's point too, but I understand it from your point 8-bit. So, Jake.
All right. So, to be completely honest, Alex, like this game, I don't think me and you were ever really on the same page. Like I had really no contact with you all of pre-merge, so I had no idea where your head was at. And by the time it was final eight, I felt like I was in a pretty good position because I was in the Final Four alliance with Chris, AJ, and Nick. But then I was also in a tight trio alliance with Blake and Jabbar. So that kind of left out you and Connor, where the two people that I honestly had the least connections with. I would have loved to work with you had we talked more. Like, if we got the chance to actually talk pre-merge and everything. But by that time that we actually started talking, I had already formed relationships with people that I wanted to go to the end with. And at that time, I really did believe Blake because he had been honest with me up until that point. So when he told me that you were the one throwing my name out at Final Nine, when one of your closest allies tells you that, you kind of want to believe them. So I'm sorry that it wasn't actually you who did it. I apologize. Had I known that at the time, things could have maybe been different. But at that time, I just felt that it was the best move for me because I had bonds with everybody else at the time.
Jake, that actually was me. I was just being stubborn because Blake and I were on that team. But yeah, that actually was me. So
I fucking love Alex.
I was gonna do this whole reveal at the finale thing, but then Blake and Connor were like, "Our friendship's done if you don't reveal it now," and then it just kind of.
Wait,
yeah,
Alex, can you reveal if you tried splitting the votes on me and Nick at the second tribal?
The second tribal?
At our tribal, me and when Nick went, did you try to spin the votes on me and Nick?
At the tribe that I went?
Yeah, the one where Luca, either the one where Luca was voted out or Nick S.
Oh, no.
Wait,
No.
no, that was just a rumor.
Mhm.
I'm so sorry. All right, that's all I had.
My objective at that first tribal was basically just get Luca out. The objective at the second tribal was pretty much just get all the votes on to Nick. I really didn't have anything.
Thank you.
Yeah. Am I allowed to ask one more question, or is that? Am I not allowed to?
Go ahead.
Okay, I am. My final question before I go back to finishing this paper up, and before I vote, because I have not voted yet. Name one reason. This question's already probably come across you guys, but name one specific reason why I should vote you to win over the other two. It's okay if you talk bad about each other. Right? That's not gonna up or down whatever you say. Just say something that you did that was more than the other two.
What's the order to be in? What's the order?
Same order as before. It's fine. Doesn't really matter.
All right. I guess me. I think I put in the maximum effort. I was there every single challenge, almost winning it. Socially, I think I had more bonds than everybody. I was brought into some alliances several times. With the same people that Jake was with, but also with more people than Jake has mentioned tonight so far. I had ties with the minorities such as Connor, AJ, and even you and Matt. I had somewhat ties with that helped me, and I had the idol target that no one else had to play with. I had to play a whole nother challenge of the game. There is a whole nother element to the game that I had to play that the other 21 people did not have to play with. They had the luxury of just playing Survivor. I had to play Survivor with this massive target on my back. I had to watch my back every single round that I was, because I had to save the idol as long as I could. And people were scared of that. At the merge, I had Nick telling me that his entire tribe was scared of my idol. That's like almost 4 people that was just wanting me out because of the idol. And that's why I think I deserve to win. Your vote to win. I think I had the biggest target of the 3 of us, but I think I played the most aggressive of the 3 of us, and I think that deserves your vote.
All right, Jabbar.
I think that what I did better than the other 2, like I said, to Ninja's question, I think that I took bigger risks and had better payouts. From giving away immunity in the final 5 to someone who I was seen as a dynamic duo with for rounds and rounds in the past, I blatantly threw immunities. I blatantly voted in the minority and told people who I was voting for. And furthermore, I flipped on a majority alliance pre-merge to 3 people who I didn't even know, but flat out felt like I could trust more than the 2 people who clearly didn't have my best interests at hand in the first point. And like I said, those payouts really worked, whether people believe them or not, because I'm sitting where I am.
All right, Jake.
Well, what I feel like I spent more time on the bottom than either of these other guys. Especially once that twist came out, I was isolated 5-1. I should have been an easy vote out at the 5th tribal council, securing Renraku 5 people on the merged tribe, but I somehow got myself out of that situation. I almost got voted out 5 times during this game, and I didn't have an idol to protect me. So I think I got myself out of a lot of sticky situations by making the social connections and the strategic moves that I had to make. So that's why I think I deserve your vote, Alex.
All right. This is a tough decision. You 3 played absolutely fantastic games. All 3 of you done a good job. I think there's just one person, and the person I've now decided I'm going to vote for, that just did this much more than the other two, but you've all played incredibly. Great season. Jabbar, I wanted you in the final three with me. I don't know who else with, but you're definitely my closest ally in this entire game. Thanks, Julian, Dustin, Dalton, for letting me play this season. I'd love to return. And yeah, thanks for the game and good luck.
Thanks, Alex.
Thank you, Alex.
Thank you.
All right.
This is stressful. Now I understand what the people in YouTube Survivor were going.
You're right.
I cut them some slack now.
An email invite has been sent to juror number 3.
Those are probably the two nice ones. I'm just waiting to get torn apart.
They all said you played a really good game, all three of you, and I think you did.
Oh, thank you.
Jake, why is your mom talking about me?
Hello, Luis.
Hello.
Hi.
Please.
Can you hear me?
Hey, Louise.
Yep. All right, Luis, the floor is yours.
Okay, thank you. Okay, so let me get comfortable. So you three, along with Blake, had something in common with me. We were all from this original like New Ranraku, I think. Yeah, New Ranraku tribe. So let's go to that day and say, why vote off someone who was gonna work with you guys? Oh, before that, also, you can answer this one too. Why not include me a part of the NIN vote and then disregard me as an ex-tribe member when I was voted out?
One.
So we can go like Chris, Jabbar, and Jake.
Who would you like to go first?
Chris, Jabbar, Jake.
Oh.
All right. I'm sorry, Jabbar. All right. Louis, you know I adore you. We played 100 games together. We kicked ass for most of the game, and that was right around the same time as Trinity.
No, I'm still waiting.
Ultimately, I think the thing was no one else trusted you, and I wasn't gonna go screw 7 other people to just to tell you the one vote. After the NIN vote, I don't know what happened really. In my mind, you were always closer with Matt and Connor and Alex than you were with me. If that's not true, I'm sorry and I apologize.
Yeah, it's not.
It's not true?
At least after the NIN vote, but like before that, I never even spoke to Matt.
Then I'm sorry.
And then,
honestly,
yeah.
Then that was one of the biggest mistakes I made this season because you were someone who I enjoyed working with. From day one that we were tight, then we would swap to a minority tribe, and we were in the minority. And we had to somehow fight our way out of that together, and we did that. And it was beautiful. It was a beautiful alliance. And we led up to 100 games, and we ran 100 games. And come merge, it was awkward. After the first vote, it was just awkward, and it was hard to go back. If I could change things, I honestly would change things. If I had to pick one person to change things with, I would change it with you because we had a compelling storyline together the first half of the game. And I made a foolish move. I threw that away. And I do apologize for that. I hope you can forgive me. I do hope we stay friends outside of this. If you don't want to vote me to win, that's fine. I completely understand. But I do hope we stay friends outside of this because you're an awesome dude. I enjoyed working together several tribals. I enjoyed making big moves together. And you had my back, and I did not show you the same respect, and I'm sorry.
Okay.
All right, so from the beginning of us really working together, I said this in your rites of passage, so I'll say it now. Your position in the game flat out intimidated me. You were sitting in a much better position than I was, and I can admit that. So for me to target you kind of was a no-brainer. Kind of merge, we really didn't talk as much, and my goal for the first round was to lay low. As far as I knew, as many people were voting in as possible. I did not know who knew, and I did not know who did not know. And as far as voting you out, I mean, it works tit for tat. As far as I'm concerned, you voted for me at the final 11, so I'm pretty sure your feelings about me would be the same about my feelings about you and the vote that you casted at the final 11. But yeah, like I said, it was completely because your position in the game, from the outside looking in, completely intimidated me, and I needed you out. I needed you out because I felt like you were somebody who would be able to easily work with multiple people, or you had multiple connections, one being our tribe and others being people from the other tribe. And this is just me from the outside looking in. So you were sitting in the best position. So once we were able to take Nin out and like we solidified something, it was much easier to point the blame at you. Not necessarily saying that I pointed the finger at you, but it was so much easier to get you out the game.
Okay.
Okay. Luis, when we first got on New Renraku, we started talking right away, and right away I knew from there that I wanted to work with you. And then you told me that you had an idol, and I don't know if you remember that, but you told me you had an idol, and like I knew it, like I know that it's not true now. I based a lot like my decision to like vote you out based on that idol, to be completely honest.
Wait. Wait, I did?
Yeah, like
I did not.
You told me.
There's no way I wouldn't because I didn't.
Like
I told you I knew the password. I didn't have it.
Well,
I knew the passwords. I just
like or must have been some miscommunication or something. I was under the impression that you had an idol. Okay, and then so when the merge came, you presented me an idea to vote out Connor, and you gave me a list of people, and Nin was included in that list. And so when the four of us decided that Nin was going to be our target, I didn't know how to present that to you because I thought that you had Nin as an ally.
No.
And so when we left you out of that vote, I thought that you were somebody that I was working with that we had left out of the vote that had an idol. So I know. So if I had known for sure that you didn't have an idol, I would say honestly that that vote could have gone differently. But I thought you had an idol, and I thought you personally were going to come after me because I lied about who I was voting for right at the merge. So I was honestly kind of scared about that. You were a dangerous player, and everybody loved you too. So when everybody sort of agreed to vote you out at that moment, I knew that that had to be the perfect opportunity.
Okay.
So
Okay, so now that to shift it into the same position, to this like a similar way. So the fact that people, like even the jury and you all, think that I had an idol, how come no shot was taken against Chris? Even though he was like, this goes towards both Jabbar and Jake. So it was known that Chris had an idol. So why not take a shot at him? Where I suppose you took a shot at me, where it was like unknown.
Oh, you're referring to the merge idol that you had?
No, because I didn't have it. I'm talking about
No,
like.
but that's the idol that you're saying people said that you had, correct?
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
I mean, I can answer. Or do you want to answer first, Jabbar?
Go ahead.
Okay. See, the reason why I personally didn't take a shot at Chris was because me and Chris were working together in Matt's other Survivor game right before this. So I had a previous relationship with Chris that I wanted to bring into Trinity from the very beginning. So and Chris actually offered to use the idol on me a few times. Whether or not he was actually going to do it, I don't know. But I feel like at the time, I felt like that it was a possibility. And I'm not saying I never thought about flipping and voting him out. There were some times where I did think about it. Like there's the time that Blake came to me and he wanted to group up Alex and Connor and myself, and he wanted to vote out Chris, but I didn't want to do that because Blake had just flipped on Alex and Connor. So that wasn't the right time for me to agree with that because then I would break that bond with Chris and then I'd have somebody coming after me. So there just honestly wasn't that good of a time. And another time was actually Final Six. There was a plan to get Chris out as well, but Nick went and told Chris about it. So that kind of blew up that plan. So I was involved in some plans to get him out. So other people kind of just caused them not to go through, unfortunately.
Mhm.
The reason why I personally targeted you, well, first of all, I didn't necessarily think that you had the idol. It was too early to tell, and honestly, the way Chris had presented that the idol was found, it made me skeptical of him having two idols around that time. In fact, me and Blake were on call, and I said, "What if Chris had the second idol?" And he was like, "I'm starting to think so too." And then from that point, I was like, "Okay, why can't we take Louise out then?" Another reason being that you were a target for me personally rather than Chris was because, like I said, flat out, you intimidated me and I did not really trust you that much. So it was much easier for me to target you. Whether or not an idol was involved did not matter to me.
Okay. So now I'll just ask an individual statement or whatever. I'll start with Jake. I made two confessionals, I think, when the twist was made that, okay, since it was 5 people from your tribe and then one from, and you going to my future tribe, I did not think you were gonna make it out of that. I was like, there's no way these people are gonna let you slip by and like be a number for possibly me and Chris, right? What I was thinking. So I think the fact that you did overcome that is like a good job. Like I congratulate you on that because then you set the tone of this alliance that could have that pretty much dominated this whole game. And the fact that after the Nin vote, I obviously couldn't trust you anymore. Well, all 3 of you because you didn't tell me the vote. So like the other jury members and I had enough votes to go against one of you 3, but it just did not happen because they did not vote for that person, and they just regret that now. So like I think the fact that you made it here is like we're able to jump over that obstacle of being in the minority at the time. I congratulate you on that.
Thank you.
Jabbar, one question. Go back to when Heatherlyn or Heatherley?
I think
Whatever.
it's Heather.
When she was, yeah, I don't care about that. When she was execute, no, expelled.
He was expelled.
Yeah.
Executed.
When she was expelled.
You're fucking awesome.
Okay, when she was expelled, and I think the 3 people who were most advocate about this were myself, Matt, and Alex, 3 jury members, to want her to be kicked out of this game because she made these comments. Would you personally have quit the game if, like, because you did leave the game chat? Would you have left if she was still in the game if we did not fight enough for her to be removed?
Actually, no. And I did talk to the host about that. I said, I'm not leaving the game. However, anything that you guys have to say to me, you guys can talk to me in my personal chat because I'm not going back in there with her. I never told the host at that time that I was quitting because of the comments that Heatherly made. All I said was that I'm not jumping back in there. If she's in there during that time, I blocked her and I said that I'm just ready to move forward.
Okay. Thank you. Chris, I think easily I could have been like in my mind before like the whole like Nin vote and stuff. I was like gonna go be loyal to you, so it just kind of like crushes me when nothing was said from you. And then also even before that, the Hunger Games, I never really got a chance to tell you this, but because like we were still in this game, but like the way you behaved like at the Final Four, how you didn't trust me, and the fact that if you thought I was gonna double cross you and stuff when I've been nothing but loyal throughout both games, like, did you ever act that way towards anyone in this game?
Definitely. I'm a paranoid person. Especially when it gets down to the end. One huge example was Final Four. Um, like Blake was saying, I'm not saying this from my view. From Blake's view, he said the obvious choice is to get Chris out. And I kept asking Jabbar and Jake all day, "Are you guys with me or not?" Because I was paranoid as hell, and I'm sure that broke their heart as well because they've had my back this entire game. They've turned on their closest allies for me, and so I don't think that was anything against you. That's honestly just my personality. I am a paranoid person, for good reasons. I think.
Yeah.
I think it's for good reasons because we all play games for one reason. We play games to win. There's no other reason we play games, you know. And when you want to win a game, when everyone has a mutual goal to win, paranoia rises like hell. And we all saw that this season. Me and you saw that in Hunger Games. If you took that personally, I really am sorry. I did not mean anything personally by it. It's just simply I'm a game player. I play games to win. And when paranoia bites me in the ass, I'm a loose cannon. And I'm all over the place. I'm asking everybody, "Are you with me? Are you with me? Are you with me?" Because that's how I play. My head just starts rolling, and I'm just scared. I'm scared people are gonna get me out. Because if I was Jake or Jabbar, I would have voted me out. Blake, I love Blake, but they very dislike Blake. Blake. I think Blake played a very good strategic game and a very good social game, but Blake admitted that the jury did not like him. So I don't see why they voted Blake out instead of me. So I don't know, man. My paranoia that's my worst. That's my worst enemy. My paranoia. If you take it offensively, I'm sorry. You know I adore you as a person. You know I fuck with you. It's a game, and paranoia got me. And you were the you had to suffer because of my paranoia, and I'm sorry.
Okay, thank you.
Thank
I
you.
think that's it for my questioning and statements. I think you all three deserve to win in a shape or form. Probably one more than the other, but like you're deserving top three if you made it here with the type of things you've done. So if like the rest of the jury, I don't know if they're gonna who's gonna keep asking questions, but like they might be like bitter, like some people are, but that's okay. So yeah, congratulations on all three of you, and good luck.
Thank you.
You.
All right, thank you, Luis. All right, email invite is going out to juror number 4 right now. We're moving at a pretty good pace.
Oh goodness.
I'm dying, guys.
Y'all having fun?
No.
No. Goodness.
Featuring Trinity 3 winner Haley.
Yes.
Icon.
Icon.
Hello, Connor.
Hey, Connor.
King Connor.
Hello, people.
All right,
Oh, look
Connor.
at my glasses.
The floor is
Ooh.
yours.
Okay, so first off, I just want to say that I'll be honest, my vote is extremely up in the air. I don't even have a two I'm thinking about choosing. It's extremely up in the air. I could vote any single one of you. I'm not a bitter. I understand this was a game, so I'm not gonna determine my vote based on bitterness. Unlike some people, not naming any names. AJ. So
Oh.
a little advice when you answer my questions. I want to vote for someone who cared about this game, who really wanted to work hard and wanted to be here and worked really hard. So when answering those questions, I want to see the passion that you cared about this game because that will definitely influence my vote. So first off, Jake, I think you played an extremely good social game. You're probably one of the better social game players here. Early on, became a lot. You did a lot of shocking things, staying in even with the twist. My question to you is, what did you do at the merge that you could say was your own and that you could call your own? A strategic move that you could call your own at the merge?
Goodness.
I mean, I feel like I've said it before, but I feel like that I can completely uh, say that I formed the majority alliance. I brought Nick, Vlad, Jabbar, Blake, and Chris all together in a chat, and we were able to form a majority alliance, and 5 out of 6 of us made it to the top 6. So I feel like that is something that nobody here can take away from me. I feel like I did a lot of the legwork for that particular move, and
many times I was picked to be voted.
and I my head was also on the chopping block so many times that these guys didn't really have to experience, because I actually did get votes, and I got votes not because I betrayed anybody. I just got votes because I was just the next best option, you know? And I felt like I had to fight the entire time, and I don't know. I feel like creating that majority definitely helped everybody here sail through the game a little easier.
Okay. Jabbar. I think you played a very underrated game. A lot of people in the jury may think you didn't do a whole lot. I totally disagree. I think you did a lot more than people think. You played a very good strategic game. My only worry is that, like I said, I want to vote for someone that really cared about this game. I know you said that not competing in comps was part of your strategy, but why not just do really bad in those comps, do really bad in those comps on purpose instead of just not competing? What was the thought process behind there?
My thought process behind rather not competing rather than throwing is that I'm a competitive person. So if I start a competition, I'm gonna want to compete to my fullest. So the easy way to get myself out of that is just to not compete, because that way I don't have to worry about actually trying and potentially doing better than I probably should. And to respond, because I feel like that was kind of towards me, saying that you want to vote for someone who cares about the game. I'm getting a master's degree. I'm rushing out of tests. I'm rushing doing homework so that I can talk to these guys on an online game. I put my fucking heart and soul into this. Whether people want to believe it or not, that's completely up to them. But I never stopped thinking. I never stopped strategizing. And I never stopped thinking about the next fucking move that I was going to do. So to anybody who feels like I did not put my heart and soul into this game, I'm so sorry. Like I said, I cannot and will not try to change that. But it is what it is. I tried my fucking hardest.
I respect that. I understand how having an outside life is very difficult juggling these games, so I do respect that, Jabbar. I really do. Um, Next up, Chris. So I think probably your biggest thing that you accomplished was, like you said, having an idol, that it was known you had an idol, and still being in the game, still going on, and not being voted out or even try to be voted for a lot.
Yeah.
My only thing is that was your biggest move. What else can you say that you also did? And apart from just the idol thing, what else did you accomplish on a social strategic level?
Yeah.
Or physical?
Of course. To start, my game started on day one. Luca and I had history from Matt's game. Luca tried getting me out. So my first target was easy: get Luca out. I went to every single person on my tribe and I said, "Let's vote Luca out. He's gonna be inactive. Let's get him out." That was my first move coming into the game. Next up, I worked my ass off to try to save Nick S. I tried switching the vote to Jenna all day. My entire tribe can speak for that because I went to every single one of them to make that move. But they all were just telling me what I wanted to hear. Then we get to the swap. Well, actually, before that, that's when the idol came out, and that's when I had a whole nother element of the game that I had to play. Which that's one. I know you already said that, but I think that's a huge move that affected the entire game. So we come to the swap, and I just go to each of the new people. I go to Jake. I go to Jabbar. I went to Blake. I went to Jake S. I went to Rory. I went to every single person in that group, and I said, "Hey, I have an idol. It's outed now. I just want to let you know that it's here. I'm sorry. That's how it happened." And I was forced to play that hand. So, people started communicating. Me and Lewis compared notes. We found out that Jabbar was not included on the alliance from his previous tribe. We found out that people thought Roy was a dictator. And so an alliance is formed. And I don't give anyone credit for that alliance because it was all was coming together.
Mm-hmm.
So that occurred. We took out Rory as a major blindside, which I think is a huge move for all three of us sitting here tonight. That was a major blindside that was honestly it was executed perfectly. And I think if we had any different group of guys that night, it would not have happened. And that's my opinion. The next round I take credit for because people were starting to feel iffy about Lewis. People wanted to save Jake S for the merge and get out Lewis, and I was not cool with that. I was with Lewis. Lewis was with me. He was tight with me. So I just kind of was like, yeah, maybe we'll get Lewis out. And then I just went to people and was like, Jake S, Jake S, Jake S. And I kind of said my pitch. And I did not lead Jake S's vote, not at all. That was a mutual decision. However, I did, like I said, people were drifting to Lewis, and I made it clear, no, Jake S. Then we get to the merge. I do give Jake A credit for organizing that little alliance. However, I think every move done by that alliance was a group move. I don't think any one person took credit for that move because we were all talking to everybody. Everyone had multiple deals. Everyone was talking to the minority. Everyone was talking to the majority, and that's how it went out. So I don't think anyone can take individual credit for those tribal councils. Then we get down to. Sorry, what was that? Was someone talking? No. Okay. Sorry, Connor. And
You're
then my game started getting shady, as you know, because I lied to you a few times. I lied to Alex a few times. I lied to Matt a few times. Those are moves I think I had to make because I had to keep my alliance a secret for the time being. But I also had to work with you guys because you guys are my friends. I mean, I know you guys outside the game. Me and you have worked together. We made Final Four together in our last game together, and we ran that season. And I genuinely wanted that to happen this season. So I kept. So whenever someone wanted to target you, I would say no. I would say I don't want to target. I don't want Connor gone because I knew that you were good with me. I honestly tried shifting the vote to Alex because Alex was someone I thought wanted me out. So I do take credit for. What are you doing?
Are you moving?
Sorry, I was moving my situation. I do take credit for helping keeping some people such as you and AJ in the game longer because I felt I had stronger bonds with you guys than other people did. And you played a hell of a game. Like you were the underdog, and that's why you had to go. And I really hope you don't take that personally, because I fuck with you.
I don't.
I mean,
Yeah.
you're my bros. But if you were sitting here, you would win unanimously, and you can't blame anyone because you had the underdog game, and you were a target every single round, and you kept sliding by,
Yep.
And I know maybe those aren't enough moves. I guess my last move I can say is Final Four. They should have voted me out. I don't think I should be sitting here tonight, honestly. I think if they were smart, Blake would be here right now. But Jabbar turned on his closest ally for me. Jake turned on his closest ally a round before that for me. I cannot exaggerate enough. I had so many bonds with people that were real. I made connections with people that kept me safe throughout this game. And I had to play aggressively. I could not just sit I love Jabbar, but like he said, he chose to sit back. I could not do that because I had such a massive target on my back. I had to put every single ounce of my strength into each challenge. I had to go out and talk strategy to every single person in this game. And I had to lie to my friends outside the game, which sucked. But I had to do it because I was here playing Survivor. I was here to get to the end and win this prize. And I understand the bitterness. I understand the feelings people may have. All I can say is it's a game. I came here to conquer, and I'm sorry. And I hope we can still be friends outside of this.
Yeah, sure thing, sure thing. One more question is just for everyone. So let's make this easy. Out of everyone in the top 10, if you had your choice,
Yeah.
who would you be sitting at the end with right now? And are you sitting with one of those people right now?
All right,
Anyone who wants to go?
who's answering first?
You can go first, Chris.
All right, I'll go first. I don't know the third person that I would be sitting with because I had so many close connections with like people like Nick and Blake who are on the jury. But I can't say I would take them out because Jabbar had my back this entire game. Jake had my back this entire game. I can say AJ would be here with me 100% because AJ's my best friend. You know, I was with AJ to the end. So if I had to give up someone's spot, it would be for AJ. I'm sorry I can't pick another person because I really don't know what I would do in that situation. As AJ's the only person that I was like that we had such a close bond prior to the game that I knew I'd be willing to backstab everyone left for AJ. As for the third person, I just can't pick that. I'm sorry. If that makes me lose your vote tonight, I understand. But I genuinely do not know who would be here with me besides AJ.
That's understandable. That's understandable.
Thank you.
I actually cannot pick a third person either, but one person in particular would definitely be Alex, just because we had like so much natural fun on call and things like that. Yeah, he's even though I made a lot of friends in this game, and as much as I would love for Blake to be the second person who I bring, I'm not gonna lie, I would probably get his ass fourth again because in my heart, I truly believe that Blake should have won this game, bitter jury or not. I made that decision because I genuinely felt like he deserved to win. So me saying that I would bring him to the final three was completely a cop out because I would not. If I had the chance to give his ass fourth again, I 100% would. As far as who I would bring in that other slot, I really don't know because I did talk to a lot of people and I did meet a lot of great people. But as for that first vote, I mean that first position, it would have to go to Alex.
Um, I will pick two people because I will pick the two people that I started playing this game with, the two people that I felt like I had the closest genuine bonds with for a majority of the game, and I'm gonna pick Nick and Bled. If things would have worked out differently in the game, I would have loved to have stuck with them because when we made that alliance at the very beginning, my intention was to stick with them as long as possible. But again, Vlad got voted out with out of my control. I had nothing to do with that. I had no control over that. And as for Nick being voted out, I didn't turn on Nick. Everybody else was already voting for Nick anyway. So if I was going to be the person to stick my neck out and save him, that would again isolate me from everybody else, which I spent all game trying not to be because that's how I spent the first part of the game was isolated. So I wanted to prevent myself from getting in that position again. But Nick made himself too big of a target at Final Six, and there was nothing that I could do. And me and him had talked about that. So I don't want people thinking that I turned my back on my closest ally to bring Chris to the end. No, it's just there was nothing that I could do to save Nick at Final Six. So if I got the choice, I would bring Nick and Vlad because those were the two people I originally put my trust in, and those were the two people that I ultimately wanted to go to the end with from the beginning.
Okay, can I ask one more question?
Sure.
Okay, this is for everyone. What's one thing in the game that you would do differently looking back now, or something you regret doing?
All right, I'll go first. One thing that I definitely regret doing was not telling everybody about, oh, not everybody, but not saying anything about Blake's idol at Final Seven. Like I knew about that, and had I known that AJ was gonna be the one going home, I would have told everybody, but Blake wouldn't tell me who he was voting for. I just knew that he was safe, and at the time, I thought that that was going to be the best move for me. But I feel really guilty about that one because I genuinely cared about AJ and I genuinely wanted to be friends with AJ, and it was shitty how everything worked out. So like I feel like I tried to play my game without emotions, but it was really hard, and that was one vote that I had to turn my emotions off completely. And looking back on it, I wish I probably would have done that differently.
I guess I'll go next. If I could do one thing differently, I guess what I'm going to be grilled on for the rest of the night is giving off the appearance that I did not care. So that would be the one thing, one and only thing that I would change because I really did care about this game. I voted in every vote. I sent 30-minute voiceover confessionals almost every day. You know, I really did put my heart and my soul into this game. Um, yeah. So the one thing that I would change is I guess I would give off the essence that I cared a little bit more because I did.
All right. I have two regrets, honestly. First regret is, well, I guess I have three regrets now that I know the truth regarding the Alex and Blake situation. First regret is not informing Lewis of the Nin vote and not keeping connection with Lewis after that, because Lewis was a very close ally of mine, and I completely isolated that alliance. Instead of bringing him into a new alliance, which I could have done, and I just let paranoia get the best of me. My second regret is believing that Blake was with me to the end, because apparently he tried getting me out twice, which sucks because I thought Blake was with me, dude. And he played me well, so that was a regret because I took out two of my friends outside the game for Blake, only to find out Blake was the mastermind. My third regret is now idling AJ because clearly I did not need the idol, as we saw. So the idol was a waste, and I could have saved my final two with that idol, but I did not, and the idol went to waste. AJ left for no reason. Those are my three big regrets this season.
Okay, I think I'm done.
All right, thanks, Connor.
No
Thank
problem.
you.
Good luck, guys.
All right. Thank you,
Thank you.
Connor.
Bye, Connor.
See you.
All right. The next juror has been sent their invites.
Oh, geez, this is getting pretty long.
Yeah, it's long, but it's fun,
We're
man.
moving at a pretty pace, I'd say.
It's only like 5 minutes per person, really. Maybe 10. Probably 10, because it's already been an hour and a half.
Yeah.
Oh, Dalton.
Yeah, that's the one. That's
Remember
the one
when
that's
I
sassy.
said my girlfriend loved Blake because he's sassy? I was incorrect. She actually likes you because you're sassy. I just want to point that out. She just told me that. She's like, that's the one I like. He gave you a heart sign.
Aw.
Where is this person?
Goodness. They probably got tired of waiting. So everybody is here. Goodness. Oh, probably except for this person. That's probably who sent the voiceover.
They said to send them the link. I sent it to them, and now
Julian, are all the
I don't know.
jurors going to be here tonight?
We should be seeing every juror except for one. but that one juror cast their vote in advance.
Oh.
Who was that juror?
Yeah, can you tell us?
You'll be able to figure it out by process of
Yeah,
elimination.
it's pretty obvious which one.
Yeah, I think I know who it is.
Who is it? Tell me.
I don't know. It might be Vlad because of the time zone.
Oh yeah.
I could be wrong.
I hope it's a 3-3
All right, how many jurors have we had so far? 1, 2, 3,
Four.
4.
Only 4.
Only 4.
I want to give a shout out to the 3 viewers.
3 of those viewers are me.
Nope.
Just saying.
They literally said they were ready.
Goodness.
I guess this is a short intermission in the middle of being roasted.
I mean, it hasn't really been too bad, honestly.
Yeah.
So far.
But I feel like you're starting with all the jurors that maybe better.
Yeah, that's what I thought instantly.
But I don't know.
Save the best for last.
Right.
Oh, AJ will be last.
Who?
AJ. AJ, I mean, probably will.
Mr. Matt.
Matt.
There he is. Hey, Matt, the floor is yours.
The host
All right,
himself.
I'm gonna make this quick because I gotta watch Survivor. All right, so Jabbar.
Oh.
So Jabbar, I don't really got much to say to you. We didn't really talk much. Like the one time we talked was when we planned to vote out Vlad, and you promised me that you would keep me safe, and I got voted out right after that. So obviously, you really didn't live up to that.
Mm-hmm.
Jake, so at the beginning of the game, I messaged you, and I was ready to really align with you a lot. I was ready to go to the end with you. I was genuine when I said I wanted to be ride and die or die.
Mm-hmm.
And when we went to the tribal council where Zach was blindsided, you were the one that was supposed to go home. But I mean, you were able to convince Nick and Vlad to keep you, but they were talking to me saying, let's decide together. What do we want to do? And I said, let's blindside Zach. And I was really ready to go to the end with you. But once we hit the merge, you lied to me and you voted in without telling me. And and that's when we went our separate ways, because I know I voted you when I was blindsided, you voted me, but it was like the thing with Nin that ultimately separated us. When did you make the decision that this ride or die thing was no go?
To be completely honest with you, it was when I knew it from you previously telling me on Onrin Raku that you really liked Nin. And I figured that, and I thought that once merge came, you and Nin were going to be really close. And so when Nin turned out to be the merge vote, I was skeptical to come up to you and tell you about that, because if you were still aligned with him at that point, then the plan would not have gone the way that it did. And so after that, I just kind of sensed that that trust was gone, and I'm really sorry about that. Like, it just got so complicated at the merge. Like, I literally had everybody telling me that they wanted to work with me when merge came, and I formed, I had this tight bond with the new Renraku people, and then I had the tight bond with Nick and Vlad. I wanted to work with you, but everybody else agreed to vote for Nin, and I just didn't think that you would be down for that. And so since then, I knew that you probably didn't trust me again, and so I just took my chances with everybody else. So I'm sorry about that, though.
All right, I'm just gonna let you know, I would have been down the vote in because he was being very shady and he wasn't really responding. But okay, thank you for letting me know.
Okay,
Chris.
Yes.
All right, Chris. So what I heard from other jurors when I was blindsided was that the vote was originally supposed to be Connor, but I think it was either Nick or Blake, one of them. They told me that you were the one who changed the votes from Connor to me. I just want to know why.
That's untrue. If I changed the vote to anyone, it was to Alex, because I did not trust Alex. I did want Connor safe because Connor was a vote for me. Connor was an ally for me. But I genuinely do not recall throwing your name out there as I don't know. I like you, and I just don't see why I would have done that. If I did that, then I genuinely do not remember that.
Okay.
Yeah.
I also have another question for you.
Of course. Go for it.
We both know what happened between us with my game and you quitting.
Yes.
And you messaged me the next day apologizing, and you messaged me a couple of other days later. Sorry. I just want to know how much of that was genuine and how much of that was strategic for this game so that I wouldn't target you right away.
It was entirely genuine. I don't apologize for no reason. I want to apologize once I saw your blogs. I saw that you were trying to quit 10 Gauge, you were trying to quit hosting. And, I mean, anyone who knows me knows I'm not an evil person, you know? I really am I'm a genuine guy. I love making friendships. And I love hosting. You know me. I've hosted a long time. I hosted a lot of seasons. And I would never want to wish anyone to go through that experience where a player makes someone to quit hosting. And that's what really brought me to apologize. Nothing was strategic about that. That was 100% a genuine apology. And I can be petty. If I didn't want to apologize, I would not apologize. I would have said, you know what, fuck him out. He rigs his games. I'm still done with it. But I genuinely saw where I overreacted. And that was my mistake. I do regret quitting because a lot of people said I would have won that game, including yourself. And that's so disappointing because I could have won another season of yours. Instead, I tarnished my record. I hope you forgive me. I hope you bring me back for another season because I do enjoy playing your games. I just take these games so serious. So when something like that happens, I overreact, you know. And that's just because I'm passionate about these games I play. And I play to win. So I really did not mean anything offensively about that. That's why I apologize once I read your blogs and I found out you're trying to quit.
Okay.
And I like to prove that, like, I don't want your vote tonight. You don't have to vote me. I just want you to still be friends with me. I want you to, I want you to accept my apology. That's all.
I accepted it a while ago. But I just wanted to.
Of course.
I just wanted to know. And by the way, Matt's Survivor Series is pretty much done. Like,
no, I got my second win.
Like I'm bored of hosting group games, and I'm going for community. To be honest. All right, thank you guys for your answers. I'll send my vote soon. I gotta go. See ya. Where's the hang up, guys?
My girlfriend just found out that I hosted a Survivor Series, Matt. I blame you.
Oh.
She's laughing at me as we speak.
Goodness.
All right, next.
4 to go.
Juror number 6, link has been sent to you.
Oh, is it Nick or Vlad? Nick or Vlad? The other two are ready to drag.
I think it's about to get interesting.
Oh no, it did save all
Again,
the exciting points for last. Oh no.
This person was going to be earlier, but they got pushed back a couple times. Wait. There we go.
Oh, here we go.
Hello, Blake.
Hey, Blake.
Hi.
The floor is yours.
I'm so glad Blake's here.
Okay, I guess I'll just say that you all three are my boys. I'm so glad that I got to play this game with you, and I had a lot of fun. I'll start out with Jake. Jake, since the merge, I feel like I have looked out for you on multiple occasions. Every time your name came up, I did whatever I could to protect you from being voted out of this game. And I felt like when you had that one chance to protect me, you chose to vote me out. Especially when I told you the jury is going to be super bitter against me. If you want a chance at winning this game, you need to take me to the end. And that just so happened that when I was added to Ponderosa, I got fucking trampled by the jury, just what I thought I was going to happen. You would have won this game 9-0 if you would have taken me to the end. I think you made a huge mistake, and I really don't have any questions for you. Jabbar, we started out on day one aligned together, and we told each other that we were never going to write each other's name down. So I just want to know why that changed right at Final Four.
Hands down. Like I said, when Connor asked me the question, whether the jury wants to admit it or not, like I said, you deserve to win. And I'm not ever a person where I feel like, well, starting at Final Five, I knew that for me personally, Connor was the biggest threat, and then you. So naturally, Connor had to go at Final Five from my perspective. And like I said, I'm not ever a person where I see that you blatantly deserve to win. I'm not just going to give it to you. I'm so sorry. Like, I love you to death. But like I told Connor, if same scenario, I would have done it again because I hands down believe that you deserve to win. Whether the jury gave you the vote or not, you should have won. That's just how I felt about it.
Okay. I just want to say that I think seeing your game since day one, I know that you have done a lot more than people give you credit for. So I just want to say that good job for that. Christopher.
Lucky!
Yo, 420, bro.
What's up, dude?
I just want to say that I have tried getting you out of this game on multiple different occasions. Tried at Final 9, nobody wanted to do it. I tried at Final 8, nobody wanted to do it. Another chance come up at Final 6, nobody would do it. And then at Final 4...
You played the fuck out of me, dude. I did not know any of that.
And then at Final Four, when people had the most obvious choice to get you out of this game, people still didn't do it. I just want to say that if you don't win this game, it is the biggest robbery I've ever seen in any org that I've ever played. And
thank you so much.
You're welcome. You're welcome. You played the fuck out of this game, and you 100% deserve this win.
Thank you, guys. I appreciate it so much. I'm so glad we got to play this game together from the swap.
Me too. And then this question goes for everybody. So I guess I do have a question.
Of course.
I don't care which order you answer it in either. But I want you each to give the two people that are in the final three with you, or say what they did good with their game and why they deserve the win.
Of course. I guess I'll start. To start with Jabbar, a lot of people are not giving Jabbar credit. Jabbar and I talked almost every single day of this game, and Jabbar was working his ass off, and that's a fact. As you said, you just saw that. You said that you saw it. I saw it. Jabbar was constantly thinking, constantly strategizing, constantly trying to figure out what's the next move. And that's why I think Jabbar should deserve to win. Jake helped put together the big alliance on the merge, and that kind of cemented where things would happen. I don't give anyone credit for like the moves because we all had a kind of equal say, but I do give Jake credit for like organizing the first merge of the boot, and kind of getting us all on the same page together. And I think that's why both of them deserve to win. They're both awesome dudes. They're both really good strategists. Strategists.
Strategists.
Dude, don't mock me, bro. No, but seriously, like they're both very smart people, and I'm so glad I got to play the game with them, and I'll be happy to lose to either of them.
Goodness. I guess I'll go next. Jake deserves to win just because, honestly, he is all around a genuine sweet person. He is literally the person that can stab you in the back and, you just shake his hand on your way out. He is such a sweetheart. And if anything else, while the rest of us were being rude or too overbearing or too just vicious, he was just there smiling. Like, yeah, I got you, but it's a game. If Chris wins, it's the idol. I guess it is the idol. He he had to play with his heart out and his idol out for the majority of the game, and he was powerful. I don't think that he was as powerful as you. Just my opinion, but he was a powerful presence. So if he wins, it's just because of his presence.
Okay.
I think that Chris had a really good social game. Obviously, with everybody again knowing about his idol, the fact that he was able to go without 0 votes or to go without any votes, that in itself is very impressive. And Jabbar, like what Chris said too, Jabbar did not get very much credit in this game. Jabbar let people know how he felt. He was not afraid to let you know if he was voting for you. And that's something that I 100% respect. He was 100% himself, and he didn't really have to go behind people's backs. He just went to the front. And so that's something that I can respect 100%. And these guys are both great. So I think we all kind of deserve to win in just a little bit different of a way.
100%. 100% agree.
I just want to say I think we all know where my vote's going to. But regardless of who I vote for, you all three know that I love you so much. So
I just want you to know that even though you annoy me at times, you're still coming over my house for Christmas break. So, and that's not a question. You'll be there.
All right. Bye, guys. That's it.
Bye, Blake.
My thing did not want to unmute. Goddamn.
What happened?
Okay, hold up.
This is an intense final council.
So the last two were just discussing which order they want to go in. So
there's only 2 left.
Nick and AJ probably are the last two.
And then you're gonna get.
And then Vlad has this little video thing.
Christ, what is this person's email?
What? I predict it's going to be AJ, then Nick. What do you guys predict?
I think it's, well, yeah. Nick seems like someone with a big personality who wants to.
Yeah, I think Nick wants to go
be
last.
the star. Yeah. But I think that AJ has more of a drag mentality, so he probably want to save himself.
Dude, AJ better not drag me. Like, after seeing all this, he better realize he's my final two. He better not drag the shit out of me.
Me when I still didn't vote him out.
True.
So Ponderosa wants a dance party.
In all honesty, it's not really that bad.
My Skype crashing.
I thought that we're gonna all come on like super.
Yeah, I expected us to get grilled tonight, but it's not that bad.
Yeah, that was maybe.
Dude, my last org, they made 20-minute videos about each of us to yell at us.
Oh geez, I was right.
Mr. Nick.
Nick.
All right, here we go. Nick's been waiting quite a while. Nick, the floor is yours.
Hey, Nick.
What's up, guys?
What's up?
Hey, hi.
I want to start by thanking everyone in production for hosting such a fun game, and I'd like to congratulate you three for doing what all of us on jury wanted to do but failed to do. First, I'd like to make a few statements, and then I'll get to my questions. When you're asked if you're having fun at Final Tribal Council, the answer is always yes. At one point in this game, I was ready to go to the end with all three of you, but only two of you made me think that you wanted to go to the end with me. And maybe you can talk about that a little bit in a few moments. So first, Jake, the fact that you survived Renraku when you were on the outs of the swap, I don't think you can take all the credit for that. Sorry, I have the thing on my screen, and it's lagging. All right, I'm back. Me and Vlad wanted to work with you from the very beginning, so I don't think you can take full credit for surviving Renraku because you can take some credit because you made a good alliance, but you can't take all of it because we all wanted you to stay.
Yeah.
When you mentioned, I've been making notes the whole tribal council. You've already answered some of this stuff, so I'll just skip it. If you really wanted to work with me past 6, why didn't you tell me that Blake had the idol at 7? I guess you already talked about that a little bit too, but basically at 6 I was toast. If I was going to stay, something needed to happen at 7. One of the things could have been Chris playing an idol. Another thing would have been you telling us Blake had an idol. Then we could have voted somebody else. So this is the final 3 that you wanted, then I understand. But if it's not, then maybe tell me why. Jabbar, we didn't talk a whole lot, but I respect your strategy and your gameplay. I thought that me and you would connect more in this game because we're both strategic and math guys, and I'd like you to tell me at some point, why didn't we? And so...
Nick, I'm sorry.
Why don't you go ahead and answer that now, and we'll come back to the rest of it later.
You're going out. I didn't hear the question.
Okay. I said I thought that me and you would connect more coming into this game because we're both strategic and math guys, and I'd like to know why we didn't, from your perspective.
From my personal perspective, instantly when you came over, when the merge started, we clicked, it was all cool. We voted out a person or two. And yeah, it was really good because we were in a big alliance. But then I noticed that, you and Vlad would kind of message me and they would pretty much say the same thing. So I don't know if you guys were intentionally trying to like check up on me or if it was a coincidence, but it definitely gave me a sketch vibe. And when Vlad was voted off, you told me that he had an idol. And that kind of turned me off because your reasoning was that you wanted to establish trust. And my whole opinion about it was that, okay, we've already been working together. I thought we had established trust. You told me when Chris had informed you about the Louise having the merge idol. So I was confused as to why you didn't tell me about Vlad having an idol until he got voted out. So I felt like that was extremely sketchy. And after that argument, I'm the type of person where if I really don't want to deal with you, I'm not going to. I do apologize for that, but I do consider myself, a straightforward person. So to answer your question, it started off really great, but as time went on, I noticed that you sketched me out, and I searched elsewhere to find people who I can communicate with and talk with, and that's what got me here.
Fair enough. And of the 3 people at Final Tribal, you're the one person that didn't say you wanted to bring me. So you didn't do anything that you didn't say you were going to do. So thank you for that. All right, Jake, we can go back to you. If you remember what I said, we can talk about that stuff. Okay.
Okay, so I wasn't really trying to take full credit for the Renraku stuff. I know that, obviously I could not have done that stuff by myself. I give you and Vlad credit for that as well, because obviously I would not be here had you guys and Matt have chosen not to keep me. Okay? And so when Final Seven was really tough for me because Blake had just basically risked his entire game to save me at Final Nine. So it was really hard because who I wanted to go with to the end kind of kept changing a lot of the game. So to begin with, I wanted you and Vlad 100% because you guys were my original guys. Okay, and then you spend some weeks with Chris and Jabbar and Blake, and then I wanted to go with Blake and Jabbar for the longest time because I felt like that the jury wasn't going to give credit to Jabbar, and I felt that at the time I thought that the jury was going to be bitter towards Blake. So when it came to Final Seven, at that time, that was when I was leaning more towards going with Blake and Jabbar, to be 100% honest with you, because I felt like that at that time that would have been my best chance to win, and I just took a chance. I didn't know who Blake was going to vote out with that idol, but I knew that my hands were not going to get dirty from it, and I was just planning on kind of working as I went through there and figuring that out. And when it came to Final Six, like I really did want to save you. Like I honestly was gonna be up for voting Chris out at Final Six but you told Chris about the plan. So that kind of threw a wrench in the plan. You told Chris that people were throwing his name around, and then that made Blake and Jabbar and Connor kind of want to vote for you. So at that point, it was either do I go to Rocks or do I just take my chances with all these other people that I have other potential final threes with? So
Yeah.
I'm sorry that it didn't work out, man. I really wanted it to, but that whole situation around that time just got really sticky. So I apologize.
I don't blame you for Final Six at all. There was nothing you could do, and there's no way I would ever draw Rocks in your spot there. So no hard feelings. All right, Chris. So
Nick.
If you idled AJ, I don't think it would have turned me against you at all, since me, you, and Jake and AJ had a Final Four. And honestly, like that Final Four was pretty much the only Final Four I had that could have actually made it to the end.
Of
So
course.
despite like what you may have heard, like I really did want to work with you despite everybody telling me you were a huge target and a threat to win. So one thing I'd like to ask you is, when did I lose your trust?
Final six. Before Final Six, all right, so I had you. All right, so I'm not going to lie. I had quite a few Final Three deals. I had one with Jabbar and Blake, who I felt was going to take me to the end, which Jabbar stuck true to. I had one with you and AJ, obviously, the 420 crew, which I knew AJ would stick to me, and I trusted you to stick with me. We had the you, me, and Jake alliance, which I trusted Jake to stick with me, which he clearly did at Final Four. And ultimately, Final Six comes around, and Blake gets in my ear once again, like he did, like you warned me about. And I just didn't. I trusted Blake because I've been with Blake for 5 more rounds longer than I was with you. Final Six was where everything went downhill with us. I was ready after AJ was voted out. I was ready to go with you and Jake to the end. But I'm not going to say that was my final three because, like I said, I had to deal with Blake and Jabbar as well. So I don't know what would happen in the situation. I did want you to go to Final Four with me because I think I saw you and I as the two biggest threats in this game, and I truly believe that you did not think you were making it anywhere in your finals without me and Jake. And I truly believe that you wanted to go with us to the end. But once Final Six comes around, I mean, people threw your name in the dirt. You came to me, you told me some stuff, and that's when I had to make a decision on who to trust, on who to believe. And maybe I made the wrong decision, maybe I made the right one. I won't find out until about half hour from now when the votes are read. I hope to God I made the right one, and I hope you forgive me because you're an awesome dude. We clicked on so many levels, from the sign language to psychology to you liking math and me hating math. Even that was something we could talk about. And we just clicked, and we had a bond despite the age difference. And I mean, we bonded over weed, we bonded over sports. It was you were like an older brother to me in the game. And I hope we stay friends outside of this. If you don't want to vote me, I totally understand that, and I get that, and I'm not going to ask you for your vote. But I would like to stay friends outside of this. Final Six was nothing personal at all. I had to make a decision on who I thought was telling me the truth. So I hope I made the right one. If not, I apologize.
Well, clearly you didn't make a wrong one because here you sit at the final three. Right. But I don't know how you didn't trust that I was telling you the truth, since I was the only one that told you that they were considering voting for you. I was the one who leaked it. Why would I leak my own plan? But
I know, man, that got me, but everyone, I don't know, it just did not add up. Everyone was telling me different things, and I had to make a quick decision.
I was probably toast anyways because we would have need Jake to go to Rocks, and Jake probably wouldn't want to do that anyway. So
yeah.
All right. So now I have a few questions for everybody, and then we'll move on to the next juror. So don't take this as being bitter or anything, but as an outsider, somebody that's not huge in the 10 gauge community, I have to mention the previous relationships. So how does it make the game challenging and fun if you come into the game with a pre-made alliance? Doesn't that hurt the spirit of the game? And with so many previous relationships, how can someone like myself ever crack into an end game and compete? So,
well, for real quick, I want to say you did break through. You did find the cracks, and you found yourself in this tight spot. I think we all agree to that. I do see the concern about the pre-mades. Oh, sorry. Do you want to finish what you were saying, and then I'll answer?
Nope, that was my question. I'd like each of you to give me a response.
I do see the concern about the pre-existing relationships. Pre-made's a different word. Pre-made's when you sign up for the game together, and that's what you do. Unfortunately, we can't hide the fact that we all know each other from outside the game. I mean, Jake and I, we only met 45 days ago, but I mean, that's a relationship that we had. And Jabbar and I never met until this game. Blake and I never met to this game. But other people I knew before the game, but I didn't work with them. Example, my closest friends in the game were Connor, was Matt, was Alex, was AJ. AJ I was with, but I mean, Connor, Matt, and Alex, they were my closest friends outside the game. And they were 3 people I did not work with at all. So I don't think I relied on personal relationships to get me far. I think the big one I relied on was AJ, but that's really it. My other friends that I knew, I chose you guys over them. because I was putting strategy over friendships, because that's how I play. I play to win.
I mean, I feel as though everyone has an equal chance. It's not like we all, because I was told to keep my application private. I wasn't allowed to tell anybody that I was applying. So therefore, I had no idea of who I was going to know and who I was going to be placed on the tribe with. However, it's an advantage and a disadvantage. I'll say that. Because it's easy to say, we have all these relationships, we're all best friends, so on and so forth. But there's some people in this game that I've genuinely screwed over in the past. And it's hard enough dealing with people you don't know. But it's twice as hard dealing with people who you know and who you've screwed over in the past, hoping and praying that everything is still good. So, like I said, I feel as though everyone has an equal opportunity. When in this game in particular, I think that production did a really good job of splitting people up evenly without, pre-mades being involved. I know firsthand I didn't use pre-mades. Hell, I voted out the person who I was best friends with since day one and who I knew outside the game. Chris did the same thing to people that he's known, and I'm sure Jake did the same thing. So it's all about how you play the game in that game. We're all here because we can separate how we personally felt about people inside the game and brought it to a game level.
Okay, thank you.
And I remember having this conversation with you when the game first started, Nick, about how you were worried about everybody's previous relationships. And I shared that same concern with you. And I told you what my previous relationships were. I told you that I had worked with Austin in a previous game. I told you that I was in Matt's game not that long ago. And I kind of clued you in on some of the previous relationships as well. So I felt like of the three of us here, I'm the most relatively unknown. So I didn't really have very many relationships to begin with. I just had from the couple of games that I had already played, but I wasn't really working with a lot of those people. Matt wanted to work with me, but that didn't really work out. And like I did not want to use previous relationships as a part of my strategy because as you know, the game is constantly changing and you know that you're going to have to make hard decisions, and it's harder too when you have people that you've played with before and you got to separate your relationship inside and outside of the game. I understand that, but I don't think I really used previous relationships as a part of my strategy because I feel like everybody that I worked with, I didn't really know relatively that well going into the game.
Okay, guys. Well, thank you for putting the time into this, and congratulations to you all. And I just want to leave you guys with one thing. While we're moving from me to the next juror, a few of us in the jury would like to see who can do the best Charleston. So, later, guys.
Word.
Yeah.
All right, thank you, Nick.
It's a dance. Dance for us.
I can dance right now.
All right, so
I can jiggy with it.
So the last person who was left to go was obviously AJ, but unfortunately he had something personal come up, so he won't be able to make it tonight. However, he did send in a vote. All right, so that means the jury questioning phase is over.
Good luck, boys.
It's going to be close.
All right, I will now allow you guys each a brief final speech. So we will go in the reverse order that we started in. So Chris, you're up first.
All right, guys. Thanks for dealing with us for the last 3 hours. No one wants to, but I think I've been pretty honest with you guys tonight. I've been pretty upfront. I really think I worked my ass off in this game. I put my heart into the game. I put in everything I could in the challenges strategically, in the connections I made, in the bonds I made, and I truly think I had a whole other element of the game that no one else had with the Public Idol. And I know I keep going back to that, but that's my big point of the season. I had to play with this whole other challenge that no one else had to compete with. And that made my game a hell of a lot harder than a lot of these people. I hope you guys see that. I hope you guys vote me to win. If not, I'm so glad I'm losing to Jake or Jabbar. They are awesome people. And it's been such an honor to play in this game. And I want to thank the host again for a fun season. I hope I see some of you guys in All-Stars. If not, I'll be rooting for you guys. Good luck. Good luck, Jake. Good luck, Jabbar. If I don't win, I'm so glad one of you guys are winning.
Okay, so good luck, Chris and Jake. Wait, then I went first. It's Jake's turn.
No, Jake went first. You're up now.
It's Jake's turn.
Wait, I went second. Okay, crap. Okay.
Jabbar,
So yeah, good luck.
never the bride, but always the bridesmaid.
Right. Good luck, boys. I just want to say, it seems like if I don't win, it's just because I did not show as much effort, but I completely feel that that's false. Many jurors have said that I did a lot of behind the scenes work. I strategized my ass off, whether I had school, whether I had to teach. I always made it a mission to talk to almost everybody that round, with the exception of Nick, because I had him blocked. Sorry, Nick. I fought my hardest every round. I did whatever I felt was best for me, and I played the game as hard as I could. Most of you probably won't agree with the ethics or the methods that I used, such as giving away an immunity, throwing challenges, voting in the minority on purpose, or even flipping on a majority alliance. But at the end of the day, they worked. They got me here. I was willing to take risks, and I made the moves that I needed to make to get me here. I'm finished.
Again, like they said, I wish you luck, Chris and Jabbar. I love you guys. Glad to be in the final three with you guys. Thank you, production. Thank you, everybody who made this game possible. This is only my second org ever, so it's been a great experience. I worked my ass off this game. Like, you can ask my mom, you can ask my dad. I went to their house talking about all the strategies, talking about all the alliances, everything that was going on in this game. You know, I had to work hard from the very beginning, not because somebody outed me about an idol, but just because of a twist that I honestly had zero control of. And from there on, I had to work. I had to work to make myself not a threat. I had to do what it takes to be a middleman between people within our alliance. I went out and I talked to people. In most games, I tend to just associate myself with the alliance that I'm working with. I went out of my comfort zone this game and talked to everybody. I didn't talk strategy with everybody, but I made sure to develop some sort of connection with everybody in this cast. And those connections and bonds were 100% genuine, and I hope that they can be brought outside of the game as well. I had a roller coaster of a game. Some of you probably think I made a dumb decision sticking with Chris at the Final Four, but if I was in the jury, I would think that Blake had deserved to win the game because Blake went out on a limb and made some moves that a lot of us would have been afraid to do. And I think he deserved to win this game 100%. So I could not risk sitting with him at the end knowing that somebody played a better game than I did. So if you guys still think that that was a dumb decision, then that is your choice. I respect you. Thank you for making everything possible. I know I wouldn't be here without the majority of you guys, so I appreciate that, and I thank you for making everything possible.
All right, thank you guys. That is going to wrap up this segment of the game.
It's a wrap.
Can we go back?
Jurors, I'm going to ask that at this time you send your votes in so I can record them.
Oh my goodness. Good luck, guys.
I'm so nervous.
Yeah.
Let's see if the last 2 months were worth it.
Hey, dude, I'm gonna be pissed.
I mean, they were worth it to me at the end
We're
of the day. I
100%
made
worth
it.
No,
it.
Stacey, you said an exaggeration.
No.
Damn it, Jake. My girlfriend's making fun of me again because of you.
I'm
She
sorry.
said 2 months. She's like, you spent 60 days playing this game.
Oh, yes.
Yeah, and
I'm
I've
not
loved every
judging you.
single minute of it.
She's judging
I
it.
was not judging you. I want to play. I was just saying
She's definitely
that
judging.
60
She's
days
judging
is
all
some
of us.
dedication.
It is.
She's judging all of us, actually.
Okay.
I'm breaking up with her tomorrow because of this.
Oh,
We've already been done. It's already been over.
you guys better come back for blood versus water. Blood and water.
Blood versus water. I'll vote her ass out for fourth.
Blood.
I'll choke you to sleep.
It's live. You can go choke.
Okay.
That worked.
Where's your loved one?
Myself.
Myself.
I love myself.
Tell me this hurts.
No, ow.
You got me as well.
I have 7 votes in right now. The other 2 said that they were going to vote as soon as the questioning process was over, and both have went offline.
No.
Is there not a clear-cut winner without those 2 votes?
Jabbar fishing for information.
Right.
Right. You know that's my specialty.
Is it not a tie?
I love information.
Hey,
Just so you guys know, I like stayed up way late for this. So you guys are like really lucky that I care about you guys enough to actually stay awake. So
Icon. Thank you.
I have work tomorrow. You didn't tell me.
Goodness. Me when I have to work tomorrow, too.
I have to get up at 6 in the morning. Providing I don't
Okay.
go to sleep again, but
I gotta get up at like 5, man.
I have nothing
yeah,
to
you
do.
also go to the gym. I don't go to the gym, so.
True. Okay, fair enough. Well played.
So technically, that's by choice because you don't really have to get up that early. You just.
Okay. You're just splitting hairs now.
So you get enough lecture from your mother.
So if we don't get the votes tonight, are we doing a reunion tomorrow, or are we still doing it tonight no matter what?
Well, I don't know where the hell they went. Both of them said they would be voting as soon as the questioning process is over, and both of them went offline.
Damn it, Nick.
Okay, so I'm gonna get off call to get myself ready for tomorrow. Someone Skype me when, yeah.
I'm literally not available for the next 3 days after today.
Oh my god, then we better do it tonight.
You said that.
We just gotta wait for them. No.
Okay, well, one of them isn't online.
They're not?
One of them isn't. Actually, neither one are online right now.
Oh.
Yeah, I said neither one are online.
Yeah, so this is really ridiculous.
Well, that's really sad.
Like, why would you like? In my opinion, I probably would have voted as soon as I asked my question, because I feel like that's enough information for me to cast a vote.
Yeah, I mean, I see their point. Like, they want to see everything and to like, just soak in all.
Well, I mean, like, most people already have their minds made up.
Yeah.
They just really just waste the time and ask a long question and then don't really get an answer and whatever.
Deuces.
You're gonna fail season 3.
Yeah, probably. Thanks for having faith in me.
Applications are, well, they haven't started yet, obviously, but they'll start very soon after the season's over. So make sure she gets one in.
I will let her know.
I will dominate you.
She hears. I'm not playing.
Yeah, in that, like, the All-Stars, if I make it far, I'm going to dominate you.
You're not making All-Stars.
We'll
Oh my
see.
god, no, you guys could do Blood versus Water, though. That'd be
Yeah. What's that?
It'd be me and Haley
What's
and
that?
Jake and his mom.
Blood versus Water is when you
Yeah,
and
she'd
your
love
loved
that.
one play together, but on separate tribes.
So you be on one tribe and I be on a different tribe.
We don't even like each other. That wouldn't work. I'm just kidding.
That'd be sweet. That'd be awesome, actually.
Are we gonna make a Final Four, Jake?
We could play.
Yeah, definitely.
Right. I might have to throw your mom out for 4th though.
Oh, I don't know about that. I don't know. What?
Sorry, Jake's mom.
I'm sorry, but when we
I'll be the next Sierra. I'll vote my mom out. No, I'm kidding.
He voted his mom out.
And then I'll be on like 5 seasons after that.
Then you'll get 20th in Game Changers.
To be honest, if I ever played a Blood versus Water, I would force my mother to play with me.
Yeah, that'd be. Mom, would you play Blood versus Water with me?
Yes.
We got 2 pairs already confirmed. Host.
There we go.
Well, see, I can't play because I'm a production member. So trust me, I already tried. I was like, "Can I apply for season 3?" They're like, "No."
It means we both play Survivor, but we're on different tribes.
So that's out of the question. But Queen Michelle, she won't play. Trust me, she definitely won't apply. But I keep trying to get her to.
I'm really irritated right now. I have a lot of shit I want to reveal tonight, but I can't until these 2 vote.
Oh my god. Can we know
Like,
who
why
they
would
are?
you go offline if you knew you haven't voted yet?
And I literally told them to vote several times, and they both said that they were going to.
They're offline.
I might be able to Snapchat them, or you can Snapchat them.
I don't have either of their snaps.
Usually they go online.
Who are they?
I have Matt on Snapchat.
Is there a time limit?
Wait, who hasn't voted yet? Matt and who?
You already told us one. You might as well tell us the other. Just saying.
Wait, so you guys can like go pester them, like.
Wait, why don't we just go on Skype and see who's online?
Oh yeah.
You literally already could have done that.
I'm too lazy to do that.
So what do we want to do? Do we want to sit here and wait until they vote, or do we want to make a new hangout when they vote and I'll just reveal it there?
I'm down to sit and wait. I kind of want to see it live.
I cannot sit and wait. So like, I'm fine if you guys do that, but I'll just find out one tomorrow morning because
I mean,
You gotta get up early too. Mama time.
I mean, I've waited a long time for this, so I'm down to stay up.
I kind of want to see who wins.
Jake won an immunity challenge that took like
3 hours. Yeah, I don't think I emphasized that enough. Like, I stood on up against a goddamn wall for 3 hours until like 2:30 in the morning.
Dude,
to
what?
get here.
I'm so mad that my went up.
I don't want
to thinking about
Oh my god, this is ridiculous. Cast
Jake,
your vote, people.
I want a puzzle. Be quiet.
Wait, let me turn the mute off.
I was one of the two. I was the only other team to finish that puzzle. You beat me by 20 minutes, but you know.
Oh, okay. One of them's back online.
The jury was fairly respectable.
One of the jurors just came online, and the other is currently watching the 2-hour episode of Survivor.
I messaged him on Skype, or not on Skype, on Snap. So I'm hoping he might like pick up his phone while he's watching it and at least vote.
Somebody's watching the two OGs.
Oh my god.
Yep, the last juror is currently watching the 2-hour episode of Survivor.
So you have 8 votes now?
No, we still have 7. This person. Dalton, do you have his snap?
Yeah, I do, and I already messaged him, but like, he's not answering it. What if I try to call him on Snapchat?
Guys, is it weird?
Wait, is this?
Is it stop?
Don't get like that with me.
Is it weird?
No, shut up, Chris. Just go away.
I won't say it. I won't say it.
That didn't work. He didn't pick up.
Shout out to the 4 people currently watching us agonize over waiting.
Wow, there's 4 people sticking with us. That's a shout.
So
Waiting.
That's dedication.
You know, the funny part is, one of those viewers is on Jake's dad's phone, one's on Jake's mom's phone, and one's on my girlfriend's phone.
My phone.
No.
I get hold of my phone.
My mom did
on?
want to watch it on her phone, but I'm just like, no, you can just
Watch it live.
and then I'll show you occasionally. Say hi.
Hi,
Hi.
Mama.
You're a hit.
Camera shy.
That's funny. That's sweet.
Jake's mom is like, oh my god, your mom and my mom, your mom and my mom clearly have to be allies.
Yeah. They'll be the better mom squad.
The better mom squad.
Well,
Yeah.
you put so much into it. How could I not sit here and you
Yes,
at
queens.
1:30 in the morning, 12:30 in the morning?
Yeah, she really wants to know who wins. Like that's why she's staying up.
Be
So
supportive,
you know, so that's why you should vote for me. Don't disappoint my mom.
Yeah.
I'm taking up with Chris if he doesn't win, so
Don't get
it's not
mom.
even decided.
This is getting a little out of hand.
Shut up, mom. That's funny.
Good kid.
That's funny.
So what are the chances of the last 2 voting tonight? Or we don't know. It's just kind of whatever.
I mean, didn't you say one of them came back online?
They're both online.
Oh, they're both.
One is just watching a YouTube thing.
I'm sorry.
Oh, I got you. Huh?
Jabbar with the information yet again.
Bar coming in clutch, playing behind the scenes again.
Goodness, I told you guys I was production's pet.
Production actually rigged for Jabbar to win.
Probably, man.
How did production rig for me and I still don't win?
Legend Jabbar.
Icon. I guess I should have cared more. Oop. Goodness.
This was so fun, man. What am I gonna do with my life now that it's like over?
I'm all done with works.
No.
That's what you'll do.
I'm not doing it. I'm taking a break.
No, you're That's what you'll do.
I can focus on school, but no, I got YouTube Survivor actually going on.
Oh. Hopefully you get merged, boo.
Why do you want me to get merge boot?
You can't go further than me. Well, I got married, so.
Well, this is my second time.
Wait, so Matt is in the West. He's like in the Pacific time zone. So that's like, so he's literally got what, like 15 more minutes left of the episode.
What was that? Matt has 15 minutes.
He only has like 15 more minutes of the episode, right?
Why doesn't he pause the episode?
Right?
People don't have the ability to pause it, like, because he's watching it while it's actually on. So, like,
You can't pause a hangout. You can stop it, and then you have to make a new one.
no, he met his show.
He's talking
Survivor.
about the show.
Oh.
I mean, unless you got DVR or something, then, like, most people don't.
So wait, is Matt the last one? The other guy voted?
Yeah.
Sweet. Almost done. Should be a good finish. I still hope it ties 3-3-3.
What would happen?
We all co-win.
We already got it planned out if that happens.
We all co-win.
Yeah, can we all just be the 3 winning?
The 3 survivors.
Yeah, exactly. That'd be dope.
I mean, I'm fine with it.
Because I don't like. I mean, unless you want me to stand up against a wall for another 3 hours, like, I mean, I don't really have to do that again. But
Goodness, I might have to actually try.
I won't accidentally move my hand up next time.
Oh.
I know. Like when you said that, I was like, oh my god, I was so happy. I don't know how much longer I was gonna go, man.
I don't know if they called me, but I told them. I'm not gonna lie. Wow, you are shady.
No,
You are shady.
no, I'm just saying they did.
Nobody trusts Haley in season 3.
No.
Nobody trusts Haley in season 3. I'll be rooting for you.
Thank you.
Now you can talk to me.
You're rude now. Not you. Chris.
Yeah, I know.
He's nice. He'll vote
Thank
for me.
Yeah.
Why don't you go date Jake then?
I'm in Michigan.
I'm in Michigan. That was funny. I can give you a snap.
Oh, yeah.
All right.
Yeah, right. Hell yeah, true.
I'll be
Right
on the
on.
first flight to Michigan.
Yeah, I would be expecting.
I mean, she can be your mom right here.
Yeah.
Get that out of the way. Yeah. Dude, I'm glad we could joke still. This is a good final 3.
Nah, dude, for sure.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't hold anything personal to anyone who made the jury.
Oh, definitely not. Everyone's great. This
No.
cast is cool.
Except you.
Except me. Yep.
You survived.
And I am really sorry to Blake. I feel bad about that one. About that vote. So
I still don't.
Fun fact, I was gonna Snapchat Blake and I asked him to vote Jabbar instead of me so I can make it to the end with 0 votes. But I was a little nervous he would go to Jabbar and be like, yo, Chris wants you out now. So I was like, nah, don't do that.
Goodness. T.
That's
Jabbar,
all
I was
right.
trying to make it with 0 votes.
I won a game once with no votes.
I won a few games with no votes.
Pretty...
I've never won a game ever, so
I felt proud of myself. I actually won with a 7-0 vote.
wow.
Jeez.
Domination.
You were supposed to win YouTube, but
Yeah, you got robbed in YouTube.
I know. I felt really bad about that. I probably would have won 9-0 in that game too. So
yeah, it would have pained me to cast that vote, but I would have cast it.
But for me,
yeah,
over like James or Patricia.
Oh, I absolutely would.
Because I was gonna take Patricia to the end.
Oh, you would have dragged her. I wouldn't have even said anything. I would have just, on my turn, I would have just hung up.
But you voted for her to win over James.
Because James he acted like he didn't care.
Me at that. Oh my gosh.
This is so nerve-wracking.
Yeah. I guess it means it's a close vote because they're waiting for Matt still. That's pretty cool, at least.
Well, even if we wouldn't just reveal it without all of the votes anyway.
Mm-hmm, yeah, sure. That's what you say now. Now that I called you out on it.
And before it's a 4-4 to -1.
Sleep.
Hey, juror number 4. You know who you are. Vote.
Me at juror number 4.
That's what he is. Juror number 4.
Wow, he has a name. That is so rude.
1, 2, 3, 4. Oh, yeah.
Well, when they go to Ponderosa and their Ponderosa videos, they say, "Hi, I'm so and so."
Yeah.
Hi,
Yeah.
I'm juror number 4. Whatever it is, like.
Did they get Ponderosa videos?
Well, Desi and Cole have them already, but obviously not the ones from tonight. Just don't say
Oh,
it
I'm
because
talking
some
about
people
these
haven't
people.
seen it.
I haven't seen it.
Oh, okay. But yeah, they've been.
I still
YouTube
haven't
has
seen it.
them on there.
Yes, Queen Desi.
They might have posted the Ponderosas already, but I don't think so.
At this point, I imagine the 5 viewers have to just be people from the cast because I can't fathom any reason why people would watch us just sit here.
Yeah,
and wait for
some
Matt.
of you, I'm very sorry.
It's
if
because
any of you are actually just like, if you guys like fell asleep with your phone on your chest because you were just
Can you just can
so
you post
tired.
awards in our group chat?
Yeah, at this point, we're probably just going to post the awards in the alumni chat.
yeah, sounds good.
I do have a video I want to do before this ends, though. I spent a lot of time making it.
A video. Goodness.
Oh my gosh. Has everyone messaged juror number 4 on every possible outlet?
No, I got a message. Jim,
No, I'm not gonna message Matt. I'm gonna let you guys
Me
do that.
neither.
Well, not
Yeah.
you.
Yeah, I'm not going
You said
to.
everyone.
You got, well, you didn't.
Yeah. Oh, we don't count? That's rude.
Icons.
If you guys like, if everyone just like calls his Skype at once, it might like, you might answer it.
He'll probably vote. Oh wait, I don't know what time it is where he's at. I don't even know where he's at. Yeah.
He is West Coast.
Goodness, he's right. I don't know shit about him. Oh well.
Guys, I should have been in bed at 10 o'clock.
Oh, yes, rebel.
It's not me being a rebel. It's me being a good production member. Like,
yes, love us.
Oh my god, I'm so tired. I mean, I did take a nap when I got home, but it didn't really help.
Guys, look at my ceiling. I have to win so I can fix my ceiling.
Oh.
You see it? It's so ghetto.
Oh.
Wait, so
How would winning fix your ceiling?
Because he
All
thinks
the prize money?
he thinks he's getting like $1 million.
I'm getting at least 300.
Oh.
Oh, they got booted.
They got booted.
Uh-oh.
I don't know how much it is. Julian, how much is the prize? I must know.
Dust.
Getting
That's up to
removed.
Dustin.
Somebody removed me. How dare you?
Someone removed me too.
Hangouts do that all the time. It's kind of dumb.
Wait, there's a prize. Ah! Me just realizing that. Goodness. I thought we were all just playing for the. Oh my goodness, shit! If I knew it was fucking money involved, fucking whored myself out. Jeez. Let's just rewind the past 40 days and pretend like I knew we were playing for fucking money.
I know. I didn't think that there was a prize or anything, but
Well,
damn.
jeez.
That's hilarious.
Oh my god.
By now, Survivor he's probably already seen who got voted off. Like it's probably on a commercial. Why the fuck can't he just like?
I don't know.
As it is, I skipped the scenes from the next episode so I could get up here in time because I wanted to get this done in a timely fashion, but no.
I don't even remember what this next episode scene was. It was very forgettable.
Yeah, I don't even think I saw it.
You okay? What's wrong? Come here.
Fuck! I knew it was. I literally knew it was that answer, and I don't know why.
Goodness.
This is halfway ridiculous at this point. Maybe I'll just like recline this chair and then just fall asleep here.
I mean, it's 12:55, so it should be over within 5 minutes, right?
Yeah.
Hopefully.
Me at 12:50. Oh, I just remembered you're on the East Coast.
Yeah, I'm Eastern. Yeah, it's like 1 a.m. for
Oh,
Yeah.
that's one for me. Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Jeez, let me type this message.
This is such an anticlimactic ending to such a great season.
Just be sure to invite me back.
Wait, is Matt definitely voting tonight? Or we don't know?
He literally said he was going to as soon as the questioning was done.
Word.
I'm gonna be pissed if it's like an 8-0-0 or like a 9-0-0 vote or something, and it's like completely obvious or something.
It's gonna be close.
Like I swear, it's just like, oh my god, I waited all this time to get like 0 votes, 1 vote. I'm like, that sucks. I don't want that to happen.
Are you pleasing your blanket?
Goodness.
I don't want it to happen. How many people are still watching?
4.
4 people. Dedication, guys. God damn. That's nuts. People are going to be pissed when they try to watch this video. They'll be like, oh my God. Like, how long do we got to wait to see the winner?
Oh, yeah, take us off alive and just make us a new one when the votes reveal.
I'll just go off live, and whenever he votes, I'll make a new one.
Yeah.
Yay.
All right, message me on Skype.